Welcome back to Our Vision Farm. As you can see, we have moved the sheep again. We moved them over here closer to the front of the house. We had a nice patch of thick grass over here. We put them far enough from our fruit trees that they won't be able to reach out their necks and eat our fruit trees, but they get some shade and some grass to eat. This will probably last them about 2 days, and so then after that we'll move them again. The spot that we had them in last worked out really good. It lasted them a whole entire week to eat. You can tell by the slight yellowish color where the grass is really short, where they spent a whole week just grazing and eating it down to almost nothing. So that worked out really good. This nice big spot lasted them a week. Since the spot that they're in now, we didn't have any fence to work off of. It is a little bit smaller, so hopefully the next spot I'd like to utilize is over there where we have chain link fence, because we can use the whole length of the chain link fence and then make them a little corral with our T-posts and fencing. We had like 5 leftover T-posts and a huge chunk of fence that we didn't even use for the spot that they're in now, but we'll just keep on moving them. And they've been doing really good on just the grass as long as we keep moving them. So right now, my husband is fixing our electric fencing. We have an electric poultry netting from Premier One. We just had to replace like the wires that charges the battery on it, because we tried to use it for the sheep a while ago and it wasn't really working, and the sheep ended up chewing off the wires. So definitely does not work for sheep. They sell stronger ones for sheep and pigs, but this one is the poultry one. So we're gonna attempt to try it. Once it charges for long enough, we're gonna attempt to try it for our baby pig Boba over here. I think that it might work for her because she's still a little baby and she has the more sensitive skin, so maybe when she touches and brushes against the netting, it will pop her and she'll kind of get trained by it. I mostly just want to use it for the daytime so I can keep her outside in a nice little shaded area, because she loves being outside and eating grass too, but we have to be out here watching her at all times. And I like to set her up in a little area that's also movable, so that way she can enjoy the outdoors during the daytime and we still bring her into our patio at nighttime until we get the pens built back there. That's going to be a project for later on, because we still got to buy the cattle panels and some more T-posts for that project, and it's just going to take us a little bit longer to be able to get all that stuff. But in the meantime, we can still keep her outside with the electric if it works out, and just bring her in where she's safer inside the patio to sleep. So hopefully it does work out, and I just don't know if the fence is going to be strong enough for her. We're going to have to test it out and see, a little trial run. But she's getting bigger, but she's very messy, especially keeping her in our screened-in patio. She makes a mess out of her food and all of the poop that I have to wash the floors every single day. So it's going to be a lot easier on us if we can keep her out here at least during the daytime, and she can have her grazing time. The other option is to just get a fencing, kind of like how we have around our garden here, like the small hole fencing like that, and just build her a little temporary pen so that she can't get out of there. Build her a little temporary area for her to be just permanently outside. It's just that she's so little and it's just her, so I'm afraid of predators at nighttime. I feel much safer her keeping her in the screened-in patio at night. She pretty much is trained. She knows her name. She'll come when called, so it won't be hard to just like open up her temporary pen or open up the electric netting and call her in for the night, but she could spend all daytime outside. So that's what we got to do. We got to untangle this thing and then connect it to the solar powered energizer, and then hopefully now that we replace the wires, it will start working. And then we'll have to just test it out and leave her out in a nice shaded spot and see if she does stay in it. or if like the shocks have any effect on her, she might just bust right out or right under it. So we'll have to see how it works out. Okay, the net is not on charge right now. We just set it up, detangled it, put a little area over here. So I kind of want to see how she reacts to it without any electricity at all. It has small enough squares where she can't fit in, but she can definitely lift this and get out. But I just want to see, I'm just curious to see how she's going to act to it being in there without any electricity. And then the solar, because it's a solar charger that we have, once that gets enough power to it, we'll get it started and see how she reacts with it on, to see if the strength of the electricity will even affect her. Hopefully it does, because we can utilize this, since we're not using it for chickens at the moment, we can utilize this for her so she could have her outside time. I have a rope to close this.
Oh, it's supposed to be close.
It has to be tied. I want to see if she gets out, like tucks under the fence. Seems too busy right now digging through the grass, so I haven't been able to see if she's just gonna tuck and go out under the fence. She definitely can. She could just lift it with her nose and then get out, but I definitely want to see her reaction when the actual electric is on, to see if it will pop her and she'll react to it, or if it's just gonna be such a light like pop that she's still gonna get out. Because if she does still get out while it is hot, then this is definitely not going to work out. But hopefully it does work out, because she's still so little. I know our cat got zapped by it once. When we used to use it for the meat chickens, our cat went and rubbed herself against the fence, and then all of a sudden she jumped. So she definitely felt the shock through her fur. And Boba doesn't really have fur. She has very fine short hairs, so it should make direct contact with her skin. Fingers crossed this does work out, because look at all the space that she could have to dig through and just be enjoying the outdoors and rooting. And they get lots of vitamins, nutrients from the soil too, and eating all the grass. That's how they get their iron too. So it's healthier for her to be out here spending most of the days. Now if we're not here, if we're not home, then I probably won't trust this. We'll have to see how it goes. I probably wouldn't let her by herself while we're not home, because if she does get out, then I don't know where she would go, being here all by herself all day. But the days that I'm here most of the day, she can spend lots and lots of hours outside. Alright, so far without the electric, she did lift the fence and get out. It's on now? It's supposed to be on right now, but I see she's still pressing her nose up against it and hasn't made a noise, so I don't think she's getting zapped yet.
Yeah, this thing battery dead. Battery takes one of those little hard batteries.
I don't think it's on. I don't hear it clicking on the thing. I don't think it's working, because she just slips right out. Oh, wow. I think we're just gonna have to let the solar charger charge for a little bit, because it doesn't seem to be working unless there's something else wrong with our fence other than the wires that we replaced. So I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be affecting her at all. She rubs right on it for more than a couple seconds and then gets back out. I haven't heard her like squeal or back off or anything. You might just need Well, we did not get the fence put up for sure today because I definitely needed to charge more. And then it started raining really heavy, so we're charging it by plugging it in. So we're gonna finish charging it by plugging it in, and then I wanted to, after this rain, you're not gonna help me pick the stuff? After this rain, I came to check on the green bean garden. The plants aren't looking that good. They're kind of yellowing, so I'm not sure what that's about. But they do have some green beans that have been ready to pick. And we found some peppers on the plants and some okra. I think we only have like 2 okra plants that are potted. So it had 2 little okras on it. So I thought I might as well come and pick the green beans. I was going to pick them tomorrow, but they look like they've been ready to pick. There's probably only a handful in between all these plants, but most of the green beans we planted on this side disappeared. Something's still coming in here to eat the tops of our plants. But I do want to pick the green beans that are ready on the plants now to just kind of encourage the plant to produce more, since they are still flowering. The plants are still flowering, so they'll keep on producing, and I feel like picking the green beans that are ripe right now will give them a signal to go ahead and make more. So this is how our plants are now. Like, there's 1 or 2 green beans ready on some of them, not all the plants. So let's just pick all of them and see what we get out of these plants. You can see we have a lot of empty spots. That's where our plants died or got eaten by something. But this side seems to be the most successful with the plants. We still have a couple rows. They just look really yellow. Maybe it's too much rain, too much water, because it's been raining, if not every day, every other day. So I'm just checking each plant to make sure I don't miss any. Not all of the plants have green beans, but the ones that do were definitely ready to pick. Yeah, some of them we missed. And if we let those green beans on the plant will just die off. There's one over here. There's really not that many. But there's still a lot of flowers on the plants. Oops. No, I don't see much back here. And it just finished raining, so everything's a little dirty. There's one over here. I don't think I'm seeing any more. There's one over here. There's 2, 3. They're very hard to see. You have to go plant by plant, checking every single one. That plant has like three of them on it. Ugh.
Shit. I lost it.
This one. It's like it has these leaves. I don't know. The plants are already dying.
I think those are nutrients. Look, there's nutrients.
There's one here. Little one.
2. Nope. Up. Up.
2 here. These are bush beans that we planted. So they're not the trellising type. And we did kind of plant them in the middle of summer, so that's probably not the best time for them. But even with that, with some animal, I think it was a deer eating half of our plants, And with how hot it's been, to get anything here in Florida in the summertime is good. And some plants are looking healthy and bushy like this, but then some of them just look way worse like that. Alright, I think that is it. I'll give it a couple more weeks since we do have still so many flowers on them. But hopefully we at least harvest enough that I can freeze a good bag size so that we can eat off of them. I definitely don't think we're getting enough to can like I wanted to or to sell, but it's enough for our family. Let me see how much we got. So that's how much we got for the first harvest. It's like one handful. We got some peppers going. There's potted pepper plants over there. We're picking, what are those, cayenne, jalapenos, habaneros. We have some eggplants that are flowering as well. This whole row of eggplants, which I think are the long Japanese eggplants. And mostly here is just tomatoes. I think we have to replant those tomatoes. The tie-dye tomatoes back there. Our dill went to seed. That was dill, right? So we got to save the seeds from that. And we had some watermelon. This was our watermelon plant, which was doing good until I noticed today something also ate the tops of it. But it started to flower. We kept it in this pot and just kind of let it out. This was a watermelon growing off of it, shriveled up. It had little baby watermelons, but I don't know. I think it's too hot. Oh, it does have a little one here. Did you see these back here? It has, but like some of them shriveled up. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. But here's another one that I don't know what this is. It's a big black spot. So that is, I think, the small sugar watermelons. And then we planted some other watermelon plants over there to plant later in the season. We started some more elephant ears. So that's pretty much all we have going. I still haven't checked out the flower garden to see. These are yard-long purple beans. I haven't checked the flower garden. I'll be checking that another day and doing a video on that to see what has grown from the seeds that I planted in there after we cleaned out the garden. But that'll be for another video. Just wanted to show you our little mini harvest for this afternoon. And then I'll give you an update on some tomatoes. I'll give you an update on how the little fencing worked out for the pig once we get it up and running and actually test Boba in there, because as it is now she just crawls right under it. So obviously that's not going to work out until we get it to actually zap her and see if it's a strong enough zap to keep her away from the fence.